When Nietzsche Wept is a fictional psychological and philosophical novel published by Irvin D. Yalom in 1992. Set in Vienna at the end of the 19th century, the novel tells the story of the relationship between psychiatrist Joseph Brauer and philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Irving Aron is one of the world's most famous, widely published, and influential psychotherapists, and has been named one of the 3 most important psychotherapists alive in the United States. His many books have inspired not only psychotherapists but also general readers and have been successfully published worldwide. His works have won numerous European and American awards for fiction and non-fiction, including the 1992 Commonwealth Club Gold Medal Award for Fiction and many other awards, and have been translated into 24 languages, appeared on many bestseller lists, sold over 2 million copies, and were made into a movie of the same name in 2007. At the beginning of the story, Nietzsche was going through a profound psychological crisis, feeling that his philosophical ideas had lost their meaning and that he was in a very unstable mental state. Brauer was a renowned psychiatrist at the time, and his unique method of treatment was to use talk therapy to help his patients solve their problems by talking to them. The dialogue and interaction between Brauer and Nietzsche is the main focus of the story. Nietzsche tells Brauer about his philosophy and his suffering, and Brauer tries to help Nietzsche find a solution to his problem through dialogue and analysis. Brauer believes that Nietzsche's pain is caused by his nostalgia and regret for his past love relationships. Brauer's therapy is to allow Nietzsche to re-experience these emotions and find a new way to deal with them. The novel explores philosophical, intellectual, and psychological issues by presenting dialogues and interactions between Brauer and Nietzsche, as well as Nietzsche's memories and fantasies. This includes Nietzsche's philosophical ideas, such as the idea of God is dead and the concept of the Superman, as well as psychological issues, such as the shadow of childhood and lost love. In addition, the novel explores cultural and social issues, particularly in late 19th century European society, including the role of men and gender roles, Jewish identity, and discrimination. These issues are elaborated in the context of the novel's protagonists, Nietzsche and Brauer, and become part of the novel's story. One of the themes of the novel is the free will of human beings. Nietzsche's philosophical thought emphasizes the freedom and creativity of the individual. In the process of healing Nietzsche, Brauer also discovers some of his own limitations and fetters and begins to explore his own free will and creativity. In addition, the novel touches on the ideas of Sigmund Freud, one of the founders of the psychoanalytic school. Freud's name is mentioned several times in the dialogues between Brauer and Nietzsche, and some of the episodes and dialogues in the novel are also related to Freud's theories. This adds to the psychological richness and depth of the novel. In addition, the characters in the novel have great depth and distinctive personalities, and their actions and thoughts are closely related to the social and historical context of the time. Nietzsche's philosophical ideas and personal experiences are also well depicted, and the reader can get a deeper understanding of Nietzsche's thoughts and life in the novel. The dialogue between Nietzsche and Brauer and the psychotherapy process keep the reader guessing the development and the ending of the story. The ending of the novel is also excellent, impressive, and evocative. There is also some exploration of love and relationships, especially the emotional story of Nietzsche and his ex-girlfriend Louise. This emotional story is related to Nietzsche's philosophical ideas and is an important element of the novel. Through this story, the novel explores the themes of love, loss, and redemption, while at the same time allowing the reader to see Nietzsche's weakness and vulnerability as a human being. Nietzsche's philosophical thought emphasizes the freedom and creativity of the individual, which is in opposition to the religious concepts and values of the time. Nietzsche's criticism of religion and his exploration of faith in the novel allow readers to consider their own views on religion and faith, as well as their understanding of individual freedom and creativity. The self-creation of Nietzsche is a very important concept in Nietzsche's philosophical thought. Nietzsche believed that human beings should not be bound by traditional values, but should strive to create their own values and meaning in life. This concept is a central idea in Nietzsche's philosophical thought and his quest for human freedom and self-realization. Nietzsche believed that human beings should be liberated from traditional values and moral concepts and begin to create their own values and meanings. He believed that human beings should not be confined to traditional values and moral concepts, but should realize their own potential and possibilities through self-creation. Nietzsche put forward the concept of Superman, which is a being that transcends the existing values and moral concepts of human beings and is capable of creating new values and meanings. Nietzsche's idea of self-creation emphasizes the autonomy and free will of the individual, and he believes that everyone has the ability and responsibility to create their own meaning in life. This thought is a profound inspiration for modern society and personal growth, encouraging people to experiment, innovate, and explore their own values and meanings in life. In conclusion, Nietzsche's self-creation is a very important concept in Nietzsche's philosophical thought, which emphasizes the autonomy and free will of the individual and encourages people to be creative and explore their self-worth and the meaning of life. The author presents all kinds of human nature and problems in the world under the guise of historical celebrities, and describes various psychological concepts and therapeutic techniques without traces in a vivid plot. Although the protagonists of the stories are special, the main axis of the discussion is always the issue of existence, death, freedom, loneliness, and meaninglessness, which are the four ultimate concerns of life that we all face. Only by recognizing the inevitability of death can we start over and live a meaningful life. One must see clearly that life is a series of choices. Life is made up of a series of factors that we may or may not have chosen, and when there are many contingencies in life, one would think that everything is just an accident, that the combination is predetermined, that we do not have a choice, and that we do not have a purpose in making the choices we think we have, and that we have to learn how to make life develop into an accident. Love is just the face of love, and what people love is the good feeling of being cared for and protected by love, not the love of a person. We all have inner primal desires, but the truth behind the excessive repression demanded by society is that we are all pathological. The desire, whether moral or immoral, caused by loneliness or by family repression, is a primal need that is born and accepted. Without an adequate understanding of one's own loneliness, one cannot seek inward personal peace and enjoy the joy of solitude. We all understand that we only live once, and that the constraints of marriage include social responsibility and commitment to our wives and children. When freedom and existence are equated, the idea of family and freedom becomes an inescapable and sharp conflict. The pain in love can affect the realization of our desires due to various factors, even between friends, and before friends can also be a power struggle, so we cannot open our hearts to be understood, all because of the fears hidden in our hearts. The novel is written in a concise and clear style, with a compact plot that combines philosophical, psychological, and literary elements, allowing the reader to understand not only the story of Nietzsche and Brauer, but also to gain insight into philosophy and psychology. When Nietzsche Weeps is a novel rich in philosophical and psychological elements, bringing the reader into a deep exploration of emotions, human nature, and philosophy through the dialogue and interaction between Nietzsche and Brauer. Overall, When Nietzsche Cried is an excellent philosophical and psychological novel that explores issues of free will, human nature, faith, and values through the dialogue and psychotherapeutic process between Nietzsche and Brauer, while also demonstrating the diversity of Viennese culture and society. It is a novel worth reading and thinking about deeply, taking the reader on a journey into the depths of thought and giving the reader new insights and revelations.